Loretta Lynn. So final preparations being made. I think the revs are up, and the gate has dropped right there, and they are off in our Masters 50-plus division, making their way through that first turn. Looks like that may possibly be Gruey up front right now, getting that Kawasaki out front. Looks like he may be slightly to the outside. There might be Earl May, as a matter of fact, so might have a couple past champions up there running together. Earl May and John Gruey right now trying to get ID on him as he makes their way back through the short chutes, headed out now for the 10 Commandments for the first time. Looks like that may be Gruey, I'm going to have to say, getting that early hole shot. And it is Gruey with the hole shot and leading lap number 1 here as they work their way into Storyland for the first time. Going to have to say that's probably Earl May in that second position, possibly Pedro Gonzalez. So have to get a little closer look at them as they work their way out of the back section of Storyland, working their way through the waterworks. Neat rhythm section back here. Love the area through the waterworks, coming through the trees. A lot of shade back in there, and as they exit the waterworks now, making their way onto the beach. Look at this. John Gruey already amassing about a 20 bike length lead, working his way into the beach right now. Gruey was shot out of that start like a cannon, up and over the Rocky Mountain, literally more than 20 bike lengths. Can't wait to get the time on this one. John Gruey on fire here so far this morning, up and over that Kawasaki quad, and he is on point, working his way down into that Talladega Bank sand turn. Around the pond one more time, or for the first time, should I say. John Gruey on the gas and in championship winning form here this morning. Rodney Tomlin, can you handle that?
I can handle it. I just wonder if John Gruey can handle a new nickname called the Human Cannonball, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I saw a lot of starts this week and in my history at the ranch, and that was amazing, man. Gruey hooked up in these conditions.
Almost looked like a Timmy Coombs start.
Hey, Timmy Coombs, legendary hole shot artist.
Yeah.
As we see, that is Pedro Gonzalez in that second spot. Rodney was trying to get an ID on him through the waterworks. Definitely Pedro. 7.6 seconds amassed on the first lap by your defending champ, or by your soon-to-be champ, possibly, John Gruey. Now take a look at Earl May. We knew that was him back in that third position. Only 2.7 seconds off of Gonzalez. So, as you say, we're going to have a good old-fashioned barn burner in this one. But on fire right now, the human cannonball himself, John Gruey.
No doubt about it. Pedro Gonzalez, obviously a force to reckon with, and Earl May is going to try to do that. But we want to keep an eye on the 17 of Barry McCarty. McCarty, he's capable of moto wins out here in this class. He's capable of stealing the championship away, given the opportunity as well. He comes into this one with a 2-2. He's a couple of points behind John Gruey as far as the title is concerned, but we still got a ways to go. One thing to point out, though, John Gruey, very consistent rider. Rarely do you see the rider make mistakes, especially in high-pressure situations. Somehow or another, he really seems to rise to the occasion.
The guy's solid as a rock, but from now on we're going to say he's solid as a cannonball. Where the real racing is right now, though, take a look at Gonzalez and McCarty. Gonzalez in that second place right now. McCarty riding in fourth on the track, but McCarty in the second overall position for the championship contention. So interesting to see how this one's going to play out with McCarty coming through the pack right now.
Exactly, and there's one of those few 3-1s that we got, those 1-1-1s. We said those would be far and few between, and they have been just exactly that. There have been a handful of them, but John Gruey is one of those riders that is in position to try and make something like that happen.
And that guy's back already. Here he comes around this last left-hander, back under the tower again. Gruey's back already, man.
Wow. We had a 7.6-second lead amassed at the end of that first lap. I got to wonder what it is. I say he's closer to 14 or 15 seconds. I say he's close to double that lead over the second-place ride.
We got to compare the 2:05 lap time right now for Gruey in these conditions. Gonzalez just coming through. You said it, 14 seconds, 14.6 right there, Rodney.
Oh, I love it when I'm right sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
But at the same time, I love to see Pedro be able to click up a notch or two here and see what he's got. He's going to have to here pretty soon. Now 4.5 seconds behind him is Barry McCarty. He's gotten around Earl May.
Yep.
And that means that McCarty's coming with a head full of steam.
Yeah, McCarty, he could win this moto and still not going to win that championship, but a lot of pride on the line winning a moto down here at the ranch. But Gruey, intent on not letting that happen, though. My goodness, a 2:05 compared to Gonzalez, a 2:12. McCarty's 2:12, and then Earl May a 2:18 on that last lap. Obviously, maybe an off-track excursion, possibly a loss of traction somewhere, but Earl May definitely having some kind of issues, losing about 6 seconds on that last lap. Taking a look a little further back in the pack, number 5 position right now, Tim Philippi in that on that Yamaha number 38. Ralph Bentley riding in that 6th position now. Now Ralph Bentley going 6 and 6 so far, so trying to get inside that top 5. Going to get a top 5 moto finish, probably the goal right now for Ralph. Kirk Lewis in that 7th spot. Joe Evener in that number 8 ride on the 57 KTM. Jack Lambert riding in 9th. Fred Nett in 10th. Just about 1 second separating our top 10 guys as they work their way from about 8th, 9th, and 10th position. So about 3 seconds separating a total of 3 guys. So only a 1 second gap between each of them. So those 3 guys out there fighting it out right now inside of that top 10. Taking a look out on the track right now, trying to locate the human cannonball, trying to find that number 70 machine of John Gruy. Last time, John Gruy able to turn 7-second lead into 14 seconds. So working his way through the final day of racing here on lap number 3. John Gruy just going by. So checking in now, Pedro Gonzalez now. The gap 23.5 seconds, Rodney.
Wow, that goes to show you just how hungry John Gruy is right now to be able to open up a lead like that. Again, John coming into this Masters 50-plus class on the age rule. He turned 50 on Friday, so some of these guys might argue he's a young pup. He's still a young guy, but I think all these guys realize that how this works. And they saw John Gruy coming. They knew he was going to be a force to be reckoned with, and Barry McCarty knew he was going to have his hands full, even with Earl May. And Earl actually coming into this one, he had some broken ribs. I think he had has been kind of off the bike for a while. Wasn't even sure he's going to make it to Nationals this year, but he makes it down here and putting in a commendable ride, 4 threes so far. And you look at the overall standings, he may drop to 4th overall this year, but still, knowing what kind of a man Earl May is, he is a tough individual, and posting up these kind of results, that's to be commended for sure.
And he's an LLL, Loretta Lynn's legend down here. No doubt Earl May, longtime part of this program and a many-time champion. But right behind Earl May right now, Ralph Bentley, as we suspected, moving into the top 5 last time around. Bentley going 6-6 so far, so 5 going to be his best moto finish. Going to be able to get a top 5 possibly here. Able to dig in a little bit. Maybe set his sights on May, so about 10 seconds back behind May right now is Ralph Bentley.
So looking through some more of these results right now and how the 3rd moto is starting to shape up. We see the number 57 of Joe Evener. We talked with him yesterday morning. He comes into this one with a 15 score, in 15th place, I should say, a 23 and a 9 moto scores in Moto 1 and 2. And Evener, 6th place now here in Moto number 3, so he has certainly bettered his overall results and his ride here. And one thing I want to point out, we talked to him and his father yesterday, Larry Evener, and this, I believe, as far as we know, the first legacy in the Masters 50-plus class that we're seeing. Evener, Larry, won back in 1995. He was the national champion in the Masters 50-plus class. This year, his son comes back to racing and to the Amateur National Championship, and he's trying to carry that flag. Of course, Joe saying he really didn't expect to win the national title this year. He just got back into riding, just bought a bike, and when he qualified with broken arm, so at the regional qualifier. So just being here for Joe is a great accomplishment, and he is very happy. And with these results going into this 3rd moto like this, I think he's doing pretty good and gotten better as the week has progressed.
That goes to tell you how important this place is, what this place means to so many people. Joe said, broken arm or not, man, we're going to qualify. We're going to get down there, and we're going to do this thing in Masters 50-plus. And, wow, man, that kind of desire, that's just so impressive.
Now, get this. They were talking there yesterday, and Larry said they got the 2 generations here, but they want to get 3 generations. They got Joe's got a son that's in the military right now, and he wasn't able to make it down here. But maybe next year or the year after, you never know. I'm not sure if Larry still rides, but if those 3 came and rode together, a father, son, grandfather type ordeal going on there, that would be a pretty cool thing. But
what an incredible story that would be, my man.
It would sure. It would be. John Gruey here after 4 laps of racing complete. His fastest lap, a 2:03.7. He's running in the 2:04 range. A 32-second lead has amassed over the rest of the field there, Megawatt.
Yeah, Pedro Gonzalez still running a consistent 2:13 there. You know, he's still got a 12-second gap over McCarty. Pedro Gonzalez out there riding extremely steady and cautious right now. He sits 3rd overall in our championship chase right now with a 3-4 and currently running in 2nd position. But, you know, just what can you say about Gruey's riding right now? When you watch the guy coming around the track, he's riding really defensively, keeping that bike in 1 or 2 gears. Only seen him make maybe 1 or 2 shifts per lap, and really smooth on the throttle, and I believe that's what's separating Gruey right now, keeping the bike a little lower in the RPMs, riding a gear high, and as he comes around, this time 27-second lead.
Pretty impressive, to say the least. I think it might be a little more than that, because I think that William Sargent somehow or another got a double scan or something in there somewhere, so looks like Pedro is still 2nd, and Barry McCarty. Someone posing the question as to how old Earl May is. It's not how old he is, it's how young he is. No, but
how good he is.
It's how good he is, and he's great. This is what race number is this, by the way? There we go. He's 52. 52. Okay. I thought he was 53 or 54, but Earl May is 52 years old. That question asked, so we got
For all
that
you
answer.
Earl May fans out there.
Yep. I'm going to check on this. I think we're getting close to the 2-lap board. I'm going to head down to the podium.
All right, Rodney, man, I tell you, no end to the excitement. The number 70 working his way through right now. John Gruey coming back to the finish line one more time, and Rodney going to work his way down to the podium. Already got an action-packed morning full of excitement, and John Gruey threads the needle right there, jumping through a couple riders, makes his way over the finish line out on lap number 6. So John Gruey this time around a 2:06.6, kind of throttling back just a little bit. John's best lap at 2:03.7. So trying to put this one on lock right now, trying to put it to bed, and it's just a matter of making no mistakes on these last couple laps. Right now, looks like the white flag is waving, so last lap for Gruey. Leaving Pedro Gonzalez, I believe, still in that 2nd place. Got a little snafu. It looks like it showed William Sargent, but I haven't seen him anywhere really inside the top 10 there, so I'm not sure how he got up there in the 2nd position. Pedro Gonzalez, Barry McCarty, Earl May, Ralph Bentley showing right now in the 6th, but I'm going to believe that's the 5th spot. So final lap looks like the number 1 machine of Earl May coming around, getting ready to take that white flag. As we mentioned, Earl, 52 years old, multi-time champion down here, one of the many legends here at Loretta Lynn's, long-time grassroots kind of guy. And Earl May, long-time supporter, participant, and as we said, multi-time past champion of the Loretta Lynn's National Amateur Championships. Next race coming up, let's see here. 85-12 to 15 on the line right now. 85-12 to 15, that's race 16 on your schedule. Race 17 will be 250B limited. Those guys are on deck. They're in the staging area right now, and right behind them are Vet Plus 30. So another opportunity right here, Vet Plus 30. Real close moto finishes there. Those guys extremely consistent. So going to be a championship decided here in just a little bit in that class as well. But 85, 9 to 12, those guys on the line and rolling, ready to get rolling any moment. So when this one comes to an end, of course, they'll get their sight lap. We'll enjoy our podium celebrations, and then we're underway with 85, 9 to 12. Track really starting to take on a new look here this morning. Things extremely smooth and compacted. Starting to really get the race lines developed right now. Just getting enough support through a lot of these corners and a lot of these takeoffs to make it extremely fast without having to be so picky in line choice. So right now, waiting for the number 70 machine of John Gruy to work his way around for the final time. He'll be making his way down to the podium with Rodney Tomlin, and another champion will be crowned. John Gruy sitting with a 1-1-1 right now. Barry McCarty in contention with a 2-2-3 for that second place overall. Pedro Gonzalez, possible third place, 3-4-2. So checkered flag has flown. Riders making their way down into the cool-down zone. Crowded, congested area down there. Those guys so pumped up after the race, and got the crew on hand to get that face wiped off, get the bike up on the stand, get that helmet off, get these guys cooled down, and a lot of joy and excitement down there in that cool down zone. And as we said, 85, 9-12, chomping at the bit. Going to cut these guys loose here in just a second for their parade lap. But the matter at hand right now, going to be crowning a new Masters 50-plus champion in just a few moments, and that will be John Gruy with a 1-1-1 here today, or this week rather. Now officially showing Pedro Gonzalez in that second place as we expected, and that gives Pedro a 3-4-2 for third overall. Barry McCarty finishing in the third spot in this moto, but second place overall in our championship race with a 2-2-3. So John Gruy, Barry McCarty, Pedro Gonzalez Sr., 1-2-3 in our championship contention. Final few riders making their way down and off of the track. Going to cut our 85s loose here in just a moment on their sight lap. And as we make our final preparations down on the podium, the anticipation builds as we get ready to crown a new champion in our Masters 50-plus class. Coming up, of course, after our 85 9-12, 250B Limited, followed by Vet 30-plus. So 250B Limited in staging right now. Vet 30-plus behind him. Following Vet 30-plus will be our girls senior 12-16, our girls junior 9-13. Exciting races coming up right before our very eyes here. And getting ready down on the podium, Rodney Tomlin now has that number 70 machine up there. And Rodney, what's happening, my man?
Well, Barry McCarty celebrating a third place position finish here and second overall. Step on up here, Barry. Put your hands together. He takes Moto Bronze, Moto 3. Barry McCarty, ladies and gentlemen. Barry, great job here this week. Really impressed with all the rides that you put forth this week and even this third and final 50-plus Moto.
Yeah, you know, I got off to a good start, but I had to ride my own little pace because I have a broken rib, and I just it's all I can do to ride. So I'm trying to get through the pain, trying to work my way up, just a steady pace, and it's okay. You know, I'm happy with it.
I don't blame you, man. We're happy. I'm really impressed with it. I can't wait to see what that translates in next year if you can come in here being healthy, man.
Well, that was the plan, but this is my last year.
Oh, man, I hate to hear that. Maybe we can prod you along and get you to come back. But regardless of that, I know there's a lot of people you want to say thanks to for helping make this all possible for you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Spaceport Cycles, Bex Tech Suspension, Race Tech Suspension, FMF Pipes, HBD Moto Graphics, Rhino Power, Dunlop Tires, Bell Helmets, Pro Taper, No Toil, Ankle Savers, Scott Goggles, and my family and friends, and especially to my mechanic, Greg, for packing my gate.
Oh, there you go. It's possibly the end of an era, but I'll tell you what, a great man, no doubt about it. Barry McCarty, ladies and gentlemen, Moto Bronze here, second overall. As we move to our second place position finish here in the Moto, we look for Pedro Gonzalez, and Pedro putting together a great week as well. So put your hands together for the number 92. He takes the silver here in Moto 3. Pedro Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro, great week this week, and it seemed like as the week went on, you got better and faster and stronger.
Yes, I'm very confident this race because I at the same point with May and the rest, my power here. But I am very happy for my riding today. I have to say thank you to my girlfriend, my friends, Triangle Cycle, Sol Motos from Venezuela, LS2, Helmet, JT Racing, and FMF. Thank you for supporting me here.
Thank you for coming. Pedro Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen, he takes the Moto silver. And this next guy we talked to not only takes his third Moto gold, but he also sweeps the podium. And your new Masters 50-plus class champion, John Gruey. Wow, what a great way to cap off the week, man. I mean, you had your birthday a little over a week ago. You celebrated 50, and here you are. At least one national championship we claim here today, John. And, wow, what a way to start it off. We've nicknamed you W, the Human Cannonball, man, because you shoot off that gate like a rocket, like a cannonball. And, wow, 50 seconds heading into the last lap with a lead. I mean, you had this one dialed in today.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's tough down here. You know, it's hot, it's rough, it's going to be muddy, it's going to be dry, it's going to be choppy. And so if you're not working really hard before you get here, you know, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And, you know, and I really, really want to win both classes. So I knew that was going to take just incredible training and riding and hard work. And, you know, and it shows in this 50 class that I'm ready for the 40 class.
I believe you're right, and I can't wait to see you. That's coming up in a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's at noon, and me and James Polvolny have split motos so far, so that's always a nerve-wracking condition to go in 1-1 or tied, you know, for points. So, but you know, I'm going to do my best, and I know I've done the work, so I hope it'll pay off.
Well, we'll see if it does. I'll tell you, if this is any indication, look out, James Pavoni. It could get pretty tough. You also pick yourself up $100 there in the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award there, man. Congratulations to you on that. And I'm sure there's a few folks that you'd like to say thanks to for helping put you in this position.
Yeah, for sure. You know, my local dealer back home, Team Babbitt's, you know, they put on a heck of a program for a bunch of guys, and without them, it'd be impossible for me. You know, it'd be way harder. So hats off to Team Babbitt's, Amsoil, Team Green Kawasaki for all their help, and Fox, FMF, Twin Air, Bell Helmets, Renthal, Decal Works, and Dunlop Tires, man, and Factory Connection Suspension. The bike is just unbelievable, and, you know, the guys at Bell Helmet, that is just a sweet helmet down there that the champions win from Bell, and, you know, they've been great to me for many years, and that's so cool.
It most certainly is, and I'll tell you something else is cool. Look at this right here. Mr. Kip Bigelow to present you with the National #1 plate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your 2016 Masters 50-plus champion, John Gruey. What a great Moto 3 here for the Masters 50-plus. Let's head on back up top to Megawatt Matt Watson.
Wow, congratulations, Gruey, man.